Welcome to Life in Calgary, Alberta. I'm your host, Patrick Murray, and today, guys, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take a map tour of the city of Calgary so I can show you all the things that encompass Calgary, everything you need to know about how to get around, all the family-friendly areas to visit, and a whole lot more. But before we do that, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is about what it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, live, and play in Calgary, Alberta, then guys, just hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you get notified every single time I release a new video. Now I have to tell you guys, I've lived in 5 different major cities in my adult life, but you know what? I seem to stay in Calgary. I moved here way back in 2001. That's right, time flies. And I've been here ever since, and it's because it's a great city. But because of that, and because I've been a realtor here since 2010, means that I have some specialized knowledge about the city of Calgary and the surrounding bedroom communities. So if you are considering a move to the city of Calgary or one of these bedroom communities and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, please feel free to reach out to me, send me a text, an email, or a phone call. My information is below. I will absolutely get back to you. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's get on with this map tour right after this. All right, so let's jump into things right now. We're going to start out by taking a look at the major roadways within Calgary and how you can get around from the different sectors of the city using the downtown city core as the main reference point. So let's jump into things right now. So this is Calgary, as you can see. We're just going to zoom in here a little bit. And we're just going to start by looking at a few roadways here so you can understand how to get around. So first off, the downtown is just in this region right here. So hang on, I'll just grab a color, not that one. I'll just go with a nice little green here. All right. So Calgary's downtown, like I said, is just kind of in this area all along here. All right. So zoom back out here. Let's kind of start by looking at some major roadways here so you can understand how to get around. So, we've got the north up here at the top of the map. We've got the northwest, got the northeast, and we've got kind of the east over here. If you can see my little hand moving back and forth. Calgary southeast down here, the south, which encompasses the southwest, and then the west section of the city. So wherever you are, there's some great roadways to get you to where you need to go. Also of note is, the Calgary downtown, of course, which is marked off in green. So let's look at these roadways. First off, Calgary is something really cool that's just been completed in recent years. It took a number of years to complete is our ring road known as Stony Trail. So Stony Trail goes all the way around the city. And this is really good because there are a lot of truckers that drive along the Trans-Canada Highway that goes right through the middle of town. And sometimes they're just passing through. They don't necessarily want to go through the middle of town, so they can take the ring road. So that's handy for them. Also, commuting it just makes commuting a lot easier depending where you are. So, if you're in one of these northern sections and you got to get south, you can take Stony Trail and it's pretty well 100 kilometers an hour all the way along. So it really flies. Now, another major roadway is this one here, Highway 2. Now, this is also known as the Queen Elizabeth II Highway, but when it's in Calgary, it's known as Deerfoot Trail. And Deerfoot Trail is a great north-south connector for the city of Calgary and beyond. And of course, you can imagine there are lots of goods that come through this way as well. Now, this can get quite congested in rush hours, that sort of thing, especially because we have some people commuting north-south from bedroom communities in those areas. So it can get congested. Stony can get congested too, but usually it moves pretty good, even though there's traffic. But Deerfoot Trail can get a little bit congested, and if there's an accident or something, it can get quite boggy as well. So that's something to be aware of. Now, another major roadway is Crowchild Trail, and this is great for if you're living in the Northwest, and you need to get south, that's a major roadway that goes that way. I already mentioned the Trans-Canada Highway, but here it is here. This is the Trans-Canada Highway, and when it's in Calgary, and by the way, it's highway number one, guys. When it's in Calgary, though, it's known as 16th Avenue. And now, if you're going through here, there are lots of lights because you're going through the center of town. Um, However, sometimes you need to get to Deerfoot or something like that, or to Crowchild, and so it's handy for that reason. Now, I'm gonna zoom in here just a little bit more. Now, McLeod Trail is also another major thoroughfare. And it kind of starts in the center of Calgary. Now, there is a lot of stop and go traffic here as well because, there's lots of amenities, that sort of thing. When you start to get down to the south, it starts to fly a little bit more, less lights, more on ramps, that sort of thing. But that's another major connector in our city. And of course, Glenmore Trail is also another major one here. This is an east-west connector that is very well used, and it is a major thoroughfare to get you to where you need to go as well. Now, there's also Sarcee Trail. So Glenmore turns into Sarcee, so you can go up, this way as well. So that's another thoroughfare that moves pretty good. And just going to try to zoom in here, guys, and show you another major thoroughfare that is well used in the city. Here we go. And that is Bow Trail. So Bow Trail, um, you know, it goes, right from the center of town. It's actually in the downtown area. It's Sixth Avenue. We'll just start over here. Uh, well, Sixth Avenue and Fourth Avenue and 10th Avenue, bunch of intersections merge here, so you can get the Bow Trail. But Bow Trail is a major thoroughfare that goes throughout the city here. Try to back this off a little bit so you can see a little more. All right. And another one I want to show you here, if I can find it. Here we go. Can definitely find it. This is 14th Street here. And you can see that it's a major roadway. So this 14th Street, goes is another major connector that goes north-south here as well. So let's back this off a little bit and just take a little look. So as you can see, there are lots of major thoroughfares. Now, I mean, I've only touched on a few here, so there's lots more ways to get around Calgary, lots of other trails and that sort of thing. But these are some of the major connectors to get you to where you need to go. Now, there are a couple of areas of note that I did want to show you on this map. One is going to be this spot right here. This is the Calgary International Airport right here. And why is this important? Well, you may commute for work. So the best way to go is Airport Trail. You come in, boom, you are at the terminal right here. So that's the airport. That's a spot to know. Another spot that's worth noting, bear with me, guys, is some of our major um, secondary institutions. The University of Calgary is right here. So sorry, guys, you can see this line kind of comes off, but this is supposed to be on this Crowchild Trail, if you will, and you can see the U of C right here, University of Calgary. That's our major university here. Another big one is Southern Alberta Institute of Technology which is again this 14th Street. When you're zoomed away from the map, you can see it's on 14th Street, but you can get to it from 14th Street, 10th Street, 16th Avenue, which is the Trans-Canada Highway, that sort of thing. So that's another major one. And whoop, sorry guys, got little guy off. And there's a whole bunch of other, major uh, institutions in Calgary. I mean, there's so many secondary institutions here. There's lots to see, but there's just a few that are worth note or not worth noting, but just a few here that I'm going to note. There's lots more, Bow Valley, that sort of thing, St. Mary's, and more. But this one is Mount Royal University over here. So I'm just going to back the map off a little bit here, guys, so we can kind of see what we've got. And again, so you can see if you need to get to one of these institutions, depending where you are in the city, whether it's the U of C, this Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, or Mount Royal University, there's lots of good roadways to get you to where you need to go, and likewise with the Calgary International Airport.
Calgary is chock full of some amazing family-friendly activities, some great places that you should go with your kids. And I should know from experience because I've tried a lot of them. So I'm going to show you where you can find these on the map as well.
So yeah, as I mentioned, Calgary has lots of great, places to visit with your family, some great family attractions. So we're just going to delve right in here. You can see here the downtown area for Calgary right here. But we're going to zoom in and take a look at our first area of note. All right, and that is the Calgary Zoo. Guys, I have to tell you, I have spent a lot of time at the Calgary Zoo. This is a great spot. Um, you know, Regardless of who you are, it's worth coming to visit. Uh, it's a big facility for sure. Lots to see. Like I said, good for anybody. But if you have small kids and you're looking for something to do with them, toddlers, whatever, your stay-at-home mom or dad, or it's your day off and you need to do something with them, take them to the zoo. And I even recommend getting a zoo pass so that you can go again and again and again. It doesn't take long to get that, pay off that zoo pass. That's for sure. So this little area that I just circled, this is the parking. So you come in, you park in one of the three lots here, and then you walk through, you pay, you come through the tunnel, and then you're at the zoo. So that's really cool. Now, another great spot, again for anybody, but again, this is a spot where you can come and spend hours and hours with your kids, is the TELUS Spark Science Center. This is an awesome interactive science museum. There's an HD theater there as well. The exhibits changed. There's some parking here as well. Now, parking at these lots is pay. However, if you do get memberships, you can incorporate that into your membership as well, so you don't have to pay extra for that. So, where are these areas? Well, easy to get to. There is, it's off Deerfoot Trail, and there's this road here is Memorial Drive, and that's another major thoroughfare that's quite popular too. That I should have mentioned before, but I didn't. But I will point that out a little bit later. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, I have a few other favorites that I want to show you here that I really like. Just zooming in. Okay. So we have an area in Calgary called East Village, and it's kind of off and away from the downtown a little bit. And the next place I want to show you is something called Studio Bell. Now, Studio Bell is also home to the National Music Center or National Music Museum, if you will. Again, some great interactive things to do here. Now, again, for kids, I was really surprised because I went with my kids when they were young, and they loved it so much. I ended up getting a pass for a year, and it was really good when they were out of school, before they were in school, and they were really young, and they still love going there. But we could go back again and again because there's so much hands-on stuff to do here. So I was pleasantly surprised. And I know it's hard to read everything when you're with small kids, but if you go back again and again, you can generally make it through and see everything there is to see. So that's worthwhile. Another one that I really like, and because we're right here, is the Calgary Public Library. This is the newest library. This is the main branch. This has won a lot of architectural awards. It's worth going in to see the architecture here. It is stunning. It's free to get a library card. Go in, check it out. So you could, potentially do a little time here at Studio Bell, walk over to the library, check that out as well. Lots of programs for kids and families, and places to study, and so much more. This is a place that you can go to when you're a very, very young child, all the way up until you die, of course, because it has so much to offer here. Now I'm going to move you over to another spot down here. All right. And that would be the Calgary Tower. Now, this is worth going to uh, anytime, day or night. You get some really good views from the city here. Of course, everybody knows the Calgary Tower. It's iconic in our skyline. Been here since the 80s. And of course, there's a lot of buildings that have usurped its height in that time. But this is a good spot to go. There's a glass floor there too, so you can look straight down. I don't like standing on it. My kids love it. And there's also a restaurant up above that you can go to. It's a reservation, so you want to make a reservation beforehand. So if you're eating at the restaurant, I believe your reservation gets you up to the top there, so you don't have to pay for a pass. That's not the least expensive restaurant, but it's well worth it. Really nice at night. By the way, guys, it revolves around the city, so you get some gorgeous views of the skyline at night. Okay, just gonna back this off just a little bit, and we're gonna go down, down, down. Now, this is that McLeod Trail that I was talking about. Um, that is a well-used roadway. I have to tell you, sometimes if I'm not in a hurry and I'm going down this way, I will prefer to come through downtown and take this roadway here. And this is Elbow Drive, guys. And it goes, way, way down south. But I really like it. Like I said, it's not as busy um, as McLeod Trail. Yes, there are still some lights, that sort of thing. I know we're going way, way south here, and I will pan out eventually here so you guys can kind of see what we're looking at. But I'm going to take you to this area here. Now, this area, this is Heritage Park, and Heritage Park encompasses a large area here. Um, you know, there's lots to do with your kids here. Love it, love it, love it. No, this isn't open year round. Part of it is there's something called Gasoline Alley, which is kind of a car museum, if you will. So you can go in and you check out all the cool uh, historic and restored cars. There's a huge parking lot here. Again, these are pay lots, but you can work those into a membership if you get a membership. Here's that Gasoline Alley within the park itself. There's so much to offer. There's some buildings out here. There's some restaurants, that sort of thing. Now, there's also a train, an old train, steam train that goes around the entire park. Your kids will love it. I've spent so much time on that train. Again, this is a great spot to go if your kids are really young and you're looking for something to do. So when my kids were toddlers, I would take them here. It's a great way to spend the day. You can pack a lunch. That's what I did. We would ride the train. There's a horse and cart that goes around as well. We would go visit the historic buildings. There's, a cafe. There's an old hotel there. There's an ice cream place. There's a bakery. And there's also the SS Moyi that sails into the reservoir here. It's a paddle wheel boat. Um, there's an amusement park here, an antique midway, if you will, which is really cool. There's tons to do here and look at. It's interactive too, because you can go and you can watch the blacksmith work, for example, those sorts of things. And this also has lots of great programs for kids and schools and that sort of thing in the summer. Really, really worthwhile visiting at any age, but your kids will love it. I highly recommend getting a pass here. It's really, really good. Okay, moving on. Let's go back closer to the downtown area. All right, I'm just trying to get a handle on what's the best way to show you this here. But basically, the Stampede grounds is over here. So you heard of the Calgary Stampede, the greatest outdoor show on earth. Well, this is where it is, and so you can see it's down McLeod Trailway. Um, And we also have in this area, uh, hang on here. Okay, you can see I'm zooming in so you can get a better view here, guys. So just move it around so you can see. But the other thing I wanted to show you, if you like National Hockey League, you want to see some pros play some hockey, come check out the Scotiabank Saddle Dome, where you can see, the Calgary Flames play. Great spot to go, of course. Also, we have our new BMO expansion over here too, which is, I believe it's supposed to be the largest convention center in Western Canada, if not Canada. And it is a spectacular architectural marvel as well. Also, we're getting a new arena, so they're working on that as well. So that'll be interesting to check out as well. We'll also, while we're here, let's check out some other quick spots. Uh, since we're talking about sports. Oh, guys, Peter's Driving. Great spot if you love burgers. World famous. Okay, over here. McMahon Stadium. This is where the Calgary Stampeders play in the Canadian Football League. And so you can see that's off 16th Avenue and Crowchild Trailway. So that's the way you would get to that. And there's another spot I do want to show you since we're talking about sports. We'll just keep going here. And that is Spruce Meadows. Okay, so Spruce Meadows is our world-class show jumping facility here. Um, you know, this is broadcast all over the world. There are events here that are spectacular. Um, they have lots of other things going on throughout the year that happen here as well. They have an amazing Christmas market, and I actually went. My wife's been there several times, but I went for the first time this last year, and our family really enjoyed it. But it's also where the Calgary FC plays. So if you like pro soccer, Calgary has a team, and you can come check it out here. So that's some major areas. I also want to show you just some other areas too. So do you remember when I was talking about that Memorial Drive and saying that it's a good area to get around as well? Let's go back up here, guys. So this is Memorial Drive. So it runs, it's a major thoroughfare. It runs from um, Deerfoot Trail and beyond. It goes beyond that as well. But this is a major thoroughfare into the downtown, and you can go in this way, but it also continues along. So I'll just show you what I mean. And you're going to notice that it follows the Bow River. Okay, so this can be a fairly busy thoroughfare depending on the time of day. But what's beautiful is what's offered along here. So there are some incredible bike trails and walking trails here. Um, again, guys, this just goes and goes and goes, and so do the trails. But what I wanted to draw your attention to as well is this little area here called Prince's Island Park. Lots of great events happen here. Um, there's folk fest that happens here and a whole bunch of other festivals. But there's a great playground here. It's just a beautiful walk, and you can there's a trail on both sides of the river, and so on and so forth. There's Eau Claire Market right now, which is in flux because they're tearing it down to do some new development, and there's a new Green Line LRT that's going to be a north-south LRT system here that's going to run. But that's one park that's really worthwhile. Now, another one is St. Patrick's Island. So my kids and I, we like to go out and bike, and my family and I should say, we like to go out and bike, and we'll come down because I live up here, and we'll come down and we'll bike along the pass system, and we'll hit St. Patrick's Island, maybe drop across the East Village, you know, take the trail all the way around, check out Princess Island Park. Yes, there are bridges, so on and so forth. So, I mean, it really does go and go and go. So that's a lot of fun to check out. And let's see here. Oh, a couple other major parks that we should really pay attention to just so you can see it. Oh, this Big Daddy right here. Yeah, Nose Hill Park. So Calgary has um, two provincial parks within its borders, one of them being Nose Hill Park. So, people talk about urban spread in Calgary and how, our city is so vast by landmass. And yes, absolutely it is. But, this could be part of the responsibility because of the park. This is a great place to go check out. Yes, you might see some wildlife there as well. And another one is down here, guys, is Fish Creek Park. Now, Fish Creek Park is quite large as well, but it just goes and goes and goes as well. So, anyways, these are great places to come and check out. So, I'm just going to pan out here just so you can kind of see what we've talked about. Um, you kind of see there's some interesting stuff throughout Calgary to go check out as a family, and I've only scratched the surface here. There is so much more.
So a lot of the communities in Calgary can be self-contained more or less. They have their own amenities, that sort of thing, strip malls, everything that you need can be found in a lot of these communities. But I'm going to take you on a tour. I'm going to show you some of the major shopping centers within Calgary and area. So if you and your family want to go check out some of these bigger shopping areas, you can do that. And stay tuned because there's a lot more coming.
All right, so here we go. So, guys, we're talking about a bunch of various topics here today, looking at a bunch of different things. If there's something that you're interested in that I haven't covered and you want to know what that's about, maybe in a future video I can show it to you. For example, I'm not going to talk about where the hospitals are, but there are four major hospitals in Calgary, that sort of thing. And there's probably a lot more. And there's so many more activities to do, great things to see. I just can't possibly cover everything, but if there's something that, I'm getting a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm really interested in where I might find X, Y, and Z," then let me know and I'll be happy to show you. But right now, we're gonna check out where we can find some of the major shopping in the city. So, like I had said earlier, um, you know, Calgary has, um, lots of communities that are fairly self-sustained, right? So they've got everything you really need, but sometimes you need something specialized, or you just want to go to a mall, right? So this is South Centre Mall. This is probably the major mall in the south of Calgary, and just so you can get an idea. So Anderson Road is a good east-west connector to get to it. There's McLeod Trail. Um, you could take Deerfoot Trail this way. You could take Stony Trail and come across that way. Lots of ways, 14th Street, on and on and on. Anyways, South Center Mall, that's one. Okay, so probably one of my favorites is this one here. This is called Chinook Mall. And again, this is, McLeod Trail, Glenmore Trail. These are some good ways to get here. And again, tons and tons and tons of shopping center. I would say it's probably bigger than South Centre Mall, in my opinion. Another one that's quite popular that I like up here. So, inevitably, you will have your favorites that you like. And I certainly have my favorites that I like. This is probably my other favorite mall between Chinook Mall and this one here, which is Market Mall. Um, each has a few different stores. Sometimes I need something, I might go to the other. But these are both great malls um, to check out. Oh, hang on here, guys. All right. So you can kind of see where that is. So where is this located? Well, you can get to it by this Crowchild Trail here and coming across on 40th Avenue or 32nd Avenue. Another way that I usually go is I might take um, Memorial Drive, which turns into Parkdale Boulevard, and then come up Shaganapie. Same thing, Highway number 1, 16th Avenue here, and come up Shaganapie and come up to the mall this way. Something I did mention, I said there were four major hospitals, five if you include Alberta Children's Hospital as well, which is a world-class facility as well. So that's three malls. There's one more mall I want to show you that's very, very popular. And I mean, we have friends that live in Kelowna, and when they come to town, they always go here first because they love it. And that is Cross Iron Mills. So this is by scroll out a little bit here. The town of Balzac. It's between um, the city of Airdrie and the city of Calgary. Yes, it's a little further out. You really don't notice that it's really out of town because there's so much out here. There's lots of industrial stuff going on. There's also a New Horizon Mall, Century Downs racetrack and casino. There's Costco. So many great facilities out here. There's Lowe's Home Improvement, Bass Pro Shop. There's did I say Costco? A lot and so much more. Anyways, Cross Iron Mill is really cool. Kind of reminds me of going to a mall in Vegas. So I think that's kind of cool. So I'm just going to pan back here. Yes, lots of other shopping centers throughout. Like there's North Hill Mall that I go to, lots of others. But I would say that these are the four major ones, and you can kind of see where they're spaced out here. So depending where you are, if you're living way out here in the new community of Livingston, you might probably go to Crosshair Mills a fair bit more, fair bit more. I live just over here in Renfrew. So, for me, it's pretty easy for me to get to Chinook Mall or to go to this Market Mall over here as well. So just so you can get a better look again, just to see where these are.
So living in the city of Calgary is amazing. I mean, guys, there's so much to offer. But you know what? When you live in Calgary, why not experience all there is to experience, meaning enjoying what is our backyard, which are the Canadian Rocky Mountains and a lot more. So let's check out a little bit about that.
So we've talked about lots of stuff in the city of Calgary. Now let's just get a beat on what's around Calgary. So um, if you're interested in going to Edmonton, which is our provincial capital here in Alberta, Highway 2 takes you up. So this is Deerfoot Trail, and you would just continue on, past that shopping center through the community of Airdrie up this Highway 2. So you're going to go all the way up this Highway 2. And I'm not going to draw the whole thing, guys. You'll get the idea. But Edmonton is way Red Deer. There's Red Deer up there. Yeah, go through some great communities here. So this is about a 3-hour jaunt to the city of Edmonton and some bedroom communities such as Sherwood Park and St. Albert and Spruce Grove and Fort Saskatchewan and down below, Leduc and that sort of thing. So that's Edmonton, guys. That's where you find that. Now, if you're wanting to go down south to the border, pretty self-explanatory. You're gonna come out to the south and you're gonna head south, right? And eventually you're gonna hit the border to going to the United States. So the Coots border is the main one here, through Lethbridge, that sort of thing. Now, my favorites, of course, and most people's favorites, is to go to enjoy the Rocky Mountains. We can see the Great Canadian Rocky Mountains from the city of Calgary. So why not go and visit them? So a few ways to get there, but the most common way is this highway number one. Now, along your drive, sometimes we will go out to go to the mountains and we won't go to Banff directly. We will make a stop or our destination will be, sorry guys, I am driving it here to Banff, but before we do that, Canmore. Canmore, I love Canmore. What a beautiful, well, what a beautiful place, guys. Well worth the visit. Lots of great amenities. Very quaint. This is like a resort town almost, but it's not. I mean, it's not in the well, it kind of is. It's not in the uh, the national park like Banff, but this is growing here as well, much to the upset of many of the residents. But and real estate here is very expensive in Canmore, much, 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 much more expensive than in the city of Calgary. And there's a good reason for it because of everything around you and all of the outdoor activities, Quarry Lake, all these great things to do. Go for hikes, camping, mountain biking. It just goes on and on. So Canmore, one of my favorites, and this is roughly an hour from Calgary. So highly recommend you go there. And of course, the other spot where we were driving to originally is the town of Banff. A few ways to get into it, and this is it right here. So you will need a park pass to get into Banff, the National Park Pass. I can't remember what it is. It's well over $100 for the year. I think on a daily basis, it's like 25 dollars or so. That might be off. And we have a pass for the year, but well worth a visit. Go check out Banff. Of course, this is a resort town, as you know. Lots of great things to do here. Go check out the old CP hotels here, the Banff Springs, Fairmont Banff Springs. There's world-class golfing out here as well, and in Canmore. But just lots to see. So highly recommend that. And then, of course, if you're continuing on, and by the way, this is about an hour and 20 minutes from Calgary. And then if you're wanting to continue into the mountains, well, away you go, out into the pass. And, eventually you'll follow it along and you can get to Vancouver and so on and so forth. Anyways, if you were to, excuse me, going to Kelowna, for example, it's roughly a 6 hour drive to Kelowna and then roughly 5 to 6 hours to Vancouver, so on and so forth. So, but for day trips, Banff and Canmore are easily doable. Of course, there's some great skiing out here with Lake Louise and Nakiska and Sunshine Village, so much more. Lake Louise is up here, guys. There's tons to do. And by the way, Kananaskis Village is also a really great spot to go check out as well. Love it here as well. Guys, I got married on a mountainside out by Kananaskis Village, and we had our wedding reception in Canmore. Just magical. People that came to our wedding that from out of town, not really understanding why you're getting married out here as opposed to Calgary, but once they saw it, they were like, "Oh, we totally get it." Anyways, uh, Calgary, great place, lots to see and do, but why not enjoy what's in your backyard? Because we have so much to offer in the province of Alberta. Of course, there's lots this way too. If you're going east, if you're you're heading towards Saskatchewan, you can go down this way, and there's lots of other great things too. Such as Drumheller, well worth the visit, and go check out the dinosaur museum and that sort of thing.
So like I said, guys, if you are considering a move to the city of Calgary or one of the bedroom communities, and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, please feel free to reach out to me. Send me a text, an email, or a phone call. I will absolutely get back to you so you can live your life in Calgary, Alberta.